Oh my lord. Mango, mango, mango. My dish is inspired for my mother. She is very close to my heart and the best important person in my life. I was like 12 years old and she used to cook for me lunch boxes when I was working in a canal, like a river side.
What were you doing down by the river?
I was working as a
Labourer?
Yeah, digging the canal and everything.
You were digging the canal at 12 years old?
Yes.
And your mum used to bring you lunch?
Yes.
Wow.
And we don't have a good life when I was a child. So I want to give good life to her. So that's very important for me.
In honor of the packed lunches his mother made him as a child, Santosh has served fried okra stuffed with ginger and fig, a mango and coconut chutney, and a potato, fenugreek, and pomegranate salad. Saffron rice wrapped in rice paper, with a crab curry sauce, and a puri bread with fried green chilies. With a carrot, chocolate, and raspberry pudding in a white chocolate dome, with raspberry puree and a pan leaf ice cream.
Wow, Santosh. What a presentation. The okra. You've completely turned me. I could not stand okra until I ate your food. It was beautiful, a little bit of crispiness to it. The next course, the curry. It's so small, but it's so flavoursome. The heart and soul in that, is something that I could never replicate. And just honoured to actually try it.
Your carrot, chocolate, raspberry dessert is very sweet, but the ice cream is fantastic. It's really creamy, and then it goes like sweet with honey. That is heavenly. Mate, you could sail away in a sea of that.
If your mum was here now, I think I'd give her a big hug. That is incredible. The story is about passion and love for someone special in your life. That we can see. And because of that feeling, you put it all into this incredible creation.
Thank you.
I think you've made your mum very proud.
Amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. I do have many people in my life, the important people, but mother is my best one. And if I have to dedicate it for anything, so it will be my mother for sure.
Food trends often move in massive global waves. We've seen it with the boom of regional Indian cuisines, and more recently, a surge in Sri Lankan flavors taking over major cities. But there's a strange blind spot on the global map. Nepali cuisine is incredibly diverse, yet internationally, it often gets unfairly boxed in as just momos and dal bhat, or completely absorbed into Indian menus. That's where Chef Santosh Shah comes in. He recently gained immense public attention by reaching the semifinals of MasterChef UK, The Professionals, putting a massive, unexpected spotlight directly on Nepali food. He is now pursuing a Michelin star specifically for Nepali cuisine. This award carries the weight of an Oscar in the culinary world, and securing one would validate the cuisine on a global level. His strategy relies on a new venture, opening a high-end, fine dining restaurant in London called Ayla. This space is engineered to compete at the absolute highest levels of global gastronomy, providing the exact environment needed to attract Michelin inspectors. Taking a deeply regional, often misunderstood food culture and forcing the global elite to recognize it requires an almost irrational level of confidence. So how does a single chef build the conviction to attempt something this massive? Securing a Michelin star for an underrepresented food culture requires a specific psychological profile, balancing the art of cooking with a strategic, long-term mission. The polished dining rooms of London are a long way from Saraha, Nepal, where his story actually begins. His father passed away when he was just 5 years old. By the time he was 9, he was already working, engaging in petty trade just to get by. After failing his school leaving certificate exams, he followed a route familiar to many in his village. he crossed the border into India looking for manual labor. His introduction to professional kitchens wasn't at a prestigious culinary institute. He started by washing the long metal skewers for a chef working the tandoor section of a local hotel. He convinced that chef to let him help out, eventually securing an apprenticeship. While working punishing hours, he spent his sparse free time taking hotel management courses and teaching himself English and basic computer skills. Within 7 years, he climbed from a dishwasher to an executive chef. These early years established a mindset of opportunistic scaling. His current high-stakes goals are an extension of the same survival mechanism that drove him to master English and computers while working in a kitchen. He applies that same relentless work ethic directly to the science of his food, taking highly specific, deeply traditional ingredients and making them appeal to a global, fine dining audience requires intense engineering. You have to refine the texture and presentation without stripping away the dish's soul. We can see this formula at work in the text of this interview, specifically when he discusses a traditional dry meat dish called sukuti. Sukuti is deeply nostalgic for Nepalis, but the inherent hardness is often unpalatable to outsiders. His solution is highly scientific. He actively experiments with the dehydration process, altering drying times to physically soften the texture while preserving the original flavor. He applies that methodology to totally unfamiliar proteins as well. During his time running Indian kitchens, he had repeatedly and meticulously practiced cooking octopus to perfect his technique. On MasterChef, he took that rehearsed technical mastery and injected it with complex Nepali ingredients and flavors. The result of that cross-cultural experiment is documented right here at the bottom of the page. The judges called it the most beautiful plate of food I have ever been served in MasterChef. Consistently producing reactions like that proves he isn't getting lucky. He has built a replicable formula, treating traditional culinary nostalgia with rigid, measured scientific precision. This highly deliberate approach makes his journey incredibly instructive for the next generation of Nepalis looking to build a future abroad. His core operational thesis is perfectly summarized in this blue header text from his interview. You inspire others by learning, not by teaching. It's a distinct psychological advantage. By constantly asking what is next and refusing to let his age, title, or status stop him from acquiring new skills, he guarantees forward momentum. That momentum is about to face its ultimate test. With Ayla opening in London, he is stepping into the highest echelon of the industry, where the Michelin inspectors act as the final judges. By applying the same rigor to his heritage that he once applied to his own education, Santosh Shah is proving that local culinary traditions can successfully compete on the world's most prestigious stages.